going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Check Swing Podcast. It is Wednesday night. Let me start that over. Welcome back to the Check Swing Podcast with myself, of course, the brains and brawn of this situation, my man, Coach Anthony down in
Baltimore, having big fun.
And you see right on his chest, he's right wearing it across his chest, repping Farm City. What up, Baltimore? I'm not sure this dude. Love Baltimore. I just cut the heat. But we are back for yet another Wednesday. It is 8:35 now. We're starting a little later because, of course, Coach Santa is a coach, and he had to coach the kids. He was with the kids, having a good time, teaching them the game of baseball, whatever the case may be. And that's what he loves to do. So before we get into it, y'all know how I like to start off my shows. I like to ask my folks how they been. I'm gonna do just that. Miguel,
Sir,
how you been?
hot,
Yeah,
tired, a little tired, not as cranky as I thought I would be. So this past weekend, and as you can see, I'm wearing the new third jersey for Visions, the Charm City Jimmy Jones. The Visions turned around, bam.
Nice.
So this weekend we were in West Virginia. Say that again.
So is that your City Connect uniforms?
I guess you can say they kind of are. We don't have like orange pants like the Orioles do, but I think that
City
would kind of
Connect
be goofy.
jerseys.
Right. There you go. So it was our first time. It was the first time our 13U went away out of state. So we were in Bridgeport, West Virginia, at a Bridgeport Sports Complex, $7 million turf fields, which was extended from the main complex. So it was, it was an experience. We didn't have the same success as we had in past tournaments, but there was some highlights and things like that. But I wanted to show. Can you show the share that I have up there?
I sure
the presentation.
If I think the right thing. Here you go.
So these are every morning, we met at the break of dawn for breakfast for the first couple of days. That's us before our last game in West Virginia. Shout out to the parents. These are the moms. They are the ones that get the young athletes to the games. They are the ones that keep their players and the coaches hydrated. And if it's an extended day, they make sure that we're fed and full of nourishment through food and or drink. Yeah. After our last game, a couple of players from the other squad actually came over to us and wanted to have a circle prayer. So we actually closed out. Kind of a humbling, experience after that game, and it just kind of shows it's not just about the game, but it's about the relationships that are made, the bonds that are formed, and just keeping it in perspective that these are young men that we're trying to guide and support from being a teenager into adulthood. So
is this the furthest that you have traveled with this team?
Yes, but in 2 weeks, or actually not this weekend, but the following weekend, we will be in Richmond, Virginia.
Okay.
Which I think is about. So this was about 4 hours away, a 4-hour drive. I think Richmond's probably going to be about the same, give or take.
From Baltimore, I'm thinking 3 hours.
Yeah, probably
3 hours from Baltimore, because it's 5 hours from here.
Okay.
I made that trip many times, working those games, many times. Now, well, let me up to the Richmond Coliseum. To Richmond itself, I don't know, but to Richmond Coliseum, about 5 hours from here.
Gotcha.
Well, shout out, man. I'm glad to see. I'm happy to see those young men and really everybody getting that experience of getting traveling to play. Um, I did not, I personally, for one, did not have that experience at that age to go out and travel, not abroad, but like way far away
Mhm.
to to compete. That really didn't happen for me till like my almost my junior year of high school when I was running track.
And it's sad because in high school, well, so I went to high school in the mid to late '90s, and none of this. I mean, the only thing we really had was American Legion, and I remember I tried out one time for American Legion, and when I went to two tryouts, but the team was already set. You know what I mean? And there was only one American Legion team in my area, which was I think it was out in Northeast Philly. I want to say one practice it was at like Max Myers, and another one was somewhere on Bustleton. But I was in the Olney section. I was born and raised in Olney in North Philadelphia, so it was like outside of like the Olney Midget Team League, outside of like the Olney A's, there was no other like organization that we could have winter indoor practices and have this off
Yeah,
season training.
I want to say, um, it was. First of all, I want to say that I never even heard the term American Legion until I started playing ball in college. Never even heard it.
Right.
Okay, I didn't even know what that was. Um, there was one team that I knew of that was playing in the summertime, and that was the. I want to get their names correct. I want to say they were the Philadelphia area Black Sox. I believe
Yeah.
that's
Mhm.
and a coach, a friend of mine. I consider him a friend. I mean, he was a coach when I was younger. When I was like, I mean, he's been a coach for a long time, but he coached against me, um, and was still coaching after I got out of college. I sent some of the guys from that we coached over to him. Also, he was a coach. He was a college coach for a little while too. Um, but he had that team, and I wanted to play in the summertime. I didn't. I didn't get the opportunity to play in the summertime, but I didn't even know that like that was really a thing back then. There's a lot of stuff I didn't know. A lot of stuff you learn later on in life that you wish you can go back and take advantage of. But
You,
I'm
you
glad
you know,
kids you're coaching are really getting a chance to have this opportunity.
yeah, the one opportunity I was thankful for is that we had a link to the Police Athletic League, and I remember we played. It was the first time, 1993. I actually played at the Vet,
Mm.
and we managed to win our championship in our division. And this is when they had the orange, the yellow, the orange, the burgundy seats
Before they changed them all to blue.
before they changed them all to blue. And I just remember we played. Our championship was in late August, and I just remember how hot that damn turf was.
Did you happen to play against the Philly area Black Sox? Because I was around that time.
No,
I knew they had a. I don't know if they had a game or practice where they got to go down to the vet. But because I
no,
had some people that played for that team, and that actually '93. That was around that time. Around that time, maybe. Well, I was 12. Yeah, it was around that time. '93. I was 12 in '93. So you may have ran into him. I don't remember what it was. I'd have to ask somebody what that was about. But that's dope. You got a chance to play down on at Vet Stadium during the game last night. They had they showed some of the highlights from the games, the previous games at the vet at the vet, 96, 76. Um, and that was cool to see the vet. Like usually when you see the vet now, it's like a real quick clip, and that's really
mhm.
it. But you really got to see the vet. You got to see the people playing at the vet. Um, you really don't realize how nice Citizens Bank Park is until you see the vet, right? But that was one of those cookie cutter stadiums. That was one of those stadiums that was. I mean, I think Cincinnati had a very similar stadium. I think they were maybe designed by the same people or something like that. There's a couple other stadiums, but the vet was a great place. That's where I, saw my first Phillies game, saw my first Eagles game. Um, but I am thankful for Citizens Bank Park and the link. Now I'll tell you that right now. I also did go to the last game at the Spectrum. Went to the last
Did
game at
you?
the
Did you really?
Yeah, I actually took my dad. I bought I think it might have been, I don't know if it was for his birthday or what, but I bought him a ticket. It was against um the Chicago Bulls. Derrick Rose was, I don't know if he was a rookie or if he was in his second year, but Derrick Rose it was before Derrick Rose got hurt and his career just kind of started to trickle. But it was cool to see being in this Spectrum for the last time. I didn't remember because it had been so long. So being in there for the last time, getting to see it, and with uh, what's it called now? T-Mo, no, what's it called now?
The
X
X.
Mobile Arena. Um, Man, the Spectrum was small. Would you say, man,
And
it was like tight? It was real tight in there.
and
But that should
and
be the
did the one regret I do have is that I've never seen a sporting event at the Spectrum.
okay.
The only thing I went to see at the Spectrum, and don't laugh, was the Barnum and Bailey Circus for my fourth grade class trip.
Why would I laugh at that? I saw it. I saw the circus there.
And I remember but the one thing I remember I think it was 1995, and me and my buddies were bored, and this is when you could actually afford it, right? So we were bored, and we were like, we want to go down to the Phillies game, and we just went down. I remember it was Phillies versus Colorado, right? But across the street at the Spectrum in '95, it was Flyers versus Rangers, and I was like, bro, let's go to the hockey game, and we tried to go across the street and had just sold out, and it wound up being an epic game. There was like 20 fights. There was, an epic brawl. I was like, damn, we were that close. And I think at that time, nosebleed seats were like $20.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so they were like, oh well, you can come tomorrow night. They play against, the Hapa Wapa or something. Well, rather.
Oh, that was probably Winnipeg.
Yeah, probably Winnipeg or Quebec.
Um, I kind of miss like those old Canadian hockey teams that were like the Quebec Nordiques,
Hmm.
Winnipeg Jets. I guess that was it.
So yeah, the Quebec Nordiques became Colorado. Winnipeg became, I think, Phoenix.
I was gonna say that too. I'm not really sure because you also had the Minnesota Stars or the North Stars or whatever they were, but they're not around anymore. Well,
So
now it's Minnesota Wild now. Like it's a whole different team now, right?
so Minnesota moved to Dallas and became the Dallas Stars, and
Gotcha.
then they added a franchise back in Minnesota because they realized, hey, Minnesota, because Minnesota is actually very, it's like a corridor of popular, like University of Minnesota actually produces a lot of like good American Canadian
Right.
um,
Right.
hockey players. So.
I think it's weird to have hockey teams in like Florida and Arizona and even Texas.
I've been saying that for like I get the market thing. I think outside of, okay, Los Angeles is given. You have to have something in Los Angeles simply because of the market.
Yeah.
The only other warm weather states, maybe Texas, because it's the biggest state in the union, so why not? But all the other places, like,
Nothing come out of Texas but Spears. Well, you know what? Never mind.
and they tried Atlanta twice, and you see how that worked out.
That's weird too.
Hmm.
Atlanta, New Orleans. Don't put a hockey team in New Orleans. That'd be weird too. I'm just saying. Um, as you know, the last few weeks of the show, we have started the show with "Would You Rather." Even though you might say you didn't start it today, would you rather? No, I know, but we're getting into the segment portion of the show now.
Right.
And we have the "Would You Rather" portion of the show, and this is the part of the show where Coach Santa presents you with a couple of options and asks you, "What would you rather do?" So Miguel,
Sir.
what are our would you rather's today?
Okay, let's see. A couple of career dilemmas. Would you rather suffer a career ending injury right after winning your first championship or play 20 healthy years but never make the playoffs?
Is this injury in my first year? Are we like kind of assuming that?
So would yeah, it's basically or not after your first year necessarily, but after winning your first championship. So it could be year one, could be year 4 or 5.
It could be year final, right? So okay, that's actually a good question. And if you have any opinions on this, all my folks checking us out, hit that like button and all that good stuff. But make sure y'all give us your opinions too on what you would rather do in these situations. Um, I want to say, how many years was the second one? You 20 years? How many?
20 years healthy career but never make the playoffs.
Wow. Because I don't know how many years to the championship. Give me the 20 healthy years. I feel like I feel crazy for saying that, but give me the 20 healthy years because that means I got a check coming to me for 20 years. I'm healthy, and I won't have that trick knee or that trick elbow from being all hurt in the career-ending injury from for the rest of my life. And I'll spend my money on other stuff instead of doctor's visits. Well, that net is still in my life. It's a net, and I can't. It's going to die tonight.
I know. I know.
What would you rather do in that situation, Coach?
I was thinking the 20 healthy years for the simple fact, like it's a steady paycheck. But also too, I would get a retirement check because now I'll be pretty much set for life financially.
Get that.
Um, yeah. So and yeah, not having the trick knee or anything like that, um, and I think about it especially now since funds are kind of tight with you know everything going on in our world. So I think I
Yeah,
would.
guys, giraffe's ass, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. I just thought of a joke of a former friend of mine, but never mind. All right. So, would you rather be caught cheating to win a championship, or lose cleanly but be blamed or accused of throwing the game?
Would I rather? You said, would I rather be caught cheating
Would
to
you
win?
rather be caught cheating to win a championship like the Houston Astros,
I've
or
already won it, and then it comes back
you've already won it,
big gate
you,
type stuff.
right? Like the Astros, or lose cleanly but be blamed for throwing the game.
They'll be blamed for throwing the game.
Be blamed or accused of throwing the game.
I think I'd rather get caught cheating.
Really?
Yeah, because one of my pet peeves in my life has always been being blamed for something I did not do. Like that really, because there are always so many things in my life that I could have done that I didn't do. That if I get blamed for something that I didn't do, it just man. Like
You,
if you can accuse me of it, and I'll be like,
mhm,
no, that didn't happen. And if you're okay, cool, all right, cool. Like that doesn't bother. But to like, how the public is when it comes to this type stuff.
mhm.
Um, you
You know what it reminds me of? You remember?
on the text line, he says it's a lose lose.
I mean, yeah, but here's the thing: the reputation that you get from being caught cheating. Because think about it with the Houston Astros, right?
Hold
There's
on,
literally,
I just want to get this in real quick.
okay.
Keep that thought. On Instagram, Ant Otani said he'd rather be blamed, he'd rather lose cleanly, but be blamed for throwing.
Right.
I don't condone cheating. Let me just put that out there right now.
Right. I think I would do the second one as well because unless there's actual proof, then you're kind of in the clear. Like it could just be one of those, like, the Lord, did he cheat, did he not, or whatever. But I think about, like, Bill Buckner, for instance, or that fan in Chicago who interfered with the baseball, and how everybody, the entire city of Chicago, blamed that one Bartman in Chicago.
Yep.
But everybody forgets. Like, if you ever watched the 30 for 30 or any documentary on it, there was 2 errors after that. A shortstop that was a short-handed shortstop dropped the double play. There was an error by a second baseman. Those were the things that caused them to lose the series, and they forget there was another game the next day.
Yep.
Same thing with Bill Buckner. Bill Buckner probably should not have been, and everybody agrees, should not have been there. But I think in the 9th inning, because normally he was brought in. Somebody else was brought in for defense in the late innings. But again, there was a Game 7, and they actually were winning that Game 7.
Bill Buckner or Bill Bartman?
Both of them, actually. Both of them, there was a Game 7. So, and the Bill Buckner one, and they were beating the Mets, I think, by like 2 or 3 runs, and they choked in that game. So it's like, obviously they didn't throw the game on purpose, but they took blame, both Boston and in Chicago. For almost 20, 30 years, they were blamed for the curse in both of those cities until they actually decided to field a viable team to win championships in both cities.
Yeah, on Instagram, Ann Otani said, "I'm gonna just put the acronym on there first. I'm not going." He put the acronym, so I'm just gonna put the acronym. IDGAF. What the people think? To be honest, coach. I don't care what I don't care.
Touche.
It be blamed. I mean, but he don't care what they think anyway. So, and that's my approach to a lot of things. I don't care what people think that I would say. I don't want to say that don't matter to me, but like, you're not my wife, you're not my mom, my dad. You know what I mean? Like, you're not one of my close people. I worry about what you're thinking about me. Now, I get caught cheating, all y'all gonna look at me different. Now that's gonna bother me.
Mm-hmm.
But I'ma still have that ring down.
Oh, Lord.
Just like the Astros, just like Tom Brady and whoever else.
Touche.
It got any more for us?
You want one more?
Sure. Got one more before we get into our
All
show.
right.
What's up, y'all? People shouting out on Instagram.
Yo. All right. Would you rather hit the longest home run in history or throw a perfect game?
Wow, that's a good one. That's a good one. That's a good one. You know why? And I'm stalling. I'm going to explain why it's good. I'm stalling while I'm thinking. You hit the longest home run ever. You're the only person to have ever done that. You throw a perfect game. There's a handful of people, a bunch of people that have done that. But you hit the longest home run ever. Somebody could come and hit one that's 5 inches longer. Now that's the longest home run ever. Like, it's almost like a record, right? Ann Otani says the perfect game. And I think I'm thinking along those same lines. I think I'm gonna go with the perfect game because selfishly, the home run I get to enjoy for a minute or two, right? I get to hear people say it was the longest home run. I'm in the record book for having the longest home run. But that perfect game takes work. That perfect game has you can get lucky and hit the longest home run ever, right? But you can't get lucky and throw a perfect game. That's not luck at all. So I'm gonna definitely go with the perfect game on that one. Man, that would be a dream come true to throw a perfect game. Ooh, I can't even do that in a damn video game.
I did it one time.
Did you?
Oh
Did
my
it like
god!
mention it? Did it say anything? You talking about a video game or real life?
In video game,
What
um,
did it acknowledge the perfect game?
it acknowledged the perfect game, and it was cool. It was an online game, so it was against somebody else that
Oh, wow. You
and
better work with me because I wouldn't have heard the end of that.
oh yeah, yeah. I'm working on it too. I'm like every time you get hit in the first inning, I'm like, damn, there goes my perfect game. Um, but I just remembered like because I thought he was because normally most players that play, especially like half of my baseball team right now, if they're watching, I'm talking about y'all. They rage quit like after like
That's the generation, man.
yeah, especially somebody on. We'll call him. We won't say his name publicly, but we'll say his name is um, Flyson Peel. He likes to
He was always on my Facebook as people you may know.
yes. Um, yeah, he
He watches
rage quits.
right now. He watches the show.
Yeah, he rage quits like every other time. Um, I think last time he blamed it on the rain. A cat stepped on his internet or something like that. I don't know. He always has an excuse now. So, but I was surprised because this one guy, like, it was 2-0, most of the way through, and I wound up winning like 4-0. But and I think there was a couple of times in previous versions of the show where I got to like the ninth inning, and then some prick would bunt. I'm like, oh, you mojo, mother.
Yeah,
Or I'd give up a bomb because the pitcher's tired. So it's like it's very very hard to do.
gotcha. So you would take the perfect game also in that situation?
Yeah, because it's like the ultimate team effort.
Right. Right.
You
Yeah.
know, it,
Unless you just struck everybody out.
right? There's always like one or two great plays that could have gone either way, and then the concentration that it takes. I mean, the perfect game, 27 up, 27 down. You know, um, you know, so hard to do.
It is extremely. That's why it doesn't happen all the time. All right, so we're going to get into the meat and potatoes of the show. I want to thank y'all for checking us out right now. Make sure y'all hit that like button, and hit that share, whatever the case may be. Um, we just had the All Star Weekend, or it's so easy to call All Star Weekend, but I guess you can call All Star Weekend. Starts on like Thursday, Friday, ends on a Tuesday. Now I think about it, they probably have the longest All Star Weekend of all the professional sports. I'm talking about Major League Baseball because they have the high rising game, or what was it? Early rise? What's it called? What's that game with the young guys? Well, you got the young guys that come up. You got the HBCU game. You got you had a 3-on-3, first ever 3-on-3 tournament thing. You had the going had a bunch of stuff going on. Um, but I think the highlight of the entire weekend to me, and maybe for a lot
The
of you
Patty
guys
DeBell,
too.
the Patty DeBell national anthem.
I mean, she was good. She was
Oh,
good.
they were tearing it. They
I
were
thought
they
she
were
sung the
tearing it
hell
up.
out of it. Huh?
Uh, there
You
were
thought you thought
complaints about it. I listened. No, I heard complaints about it from this end.
well, I can see where people would complain because it wasn't she didn't keep the traditional pentameter. And a lot of people don't like that. Like if you're trying to sing along and let me tell y'all something right now. For those that may not know. Patti LaBelle ain't gonna keep that pentameter. She gonna Patti LaBelle the song up. No matter what
Right,
the song is. The song could be Jesus Loves Me. Patti LaBelle is gonna Patti LaBelle that song up. All right, so don't expect traditional when it's Patti LaBelle. All right, I'm gonna just tell you because you know, I I wasn't singing, but I was kind of like singing in my mind and following, and then she would stop one short and go long, and she does that, and you just gotta be, you got that. I've come to expect that
right.
from Aunt. All right, I've come to expect that from Aunt Patty. So you gotta. You got to expect that. But I will say this, and I'm going to say this publicly because I don't know how many times I know I've said it publicly, but I'm going to say it right here on this show. Don't you guys turn off the whatever you're watching it on because I said this. Canada's national anthem is better than ours as a song. As a song, Canada's national anthem is better than ours. I'll leave it at that. I was going to say more. I'll leave it at that.
I mean, there's less controversy behind it too. So
Right, that we at least that we know of, and
right.
and not only that. Think about this, Miguel. The name of the country is in the song. It's not in ours. Anybody can use that. Anybody can use our song, and they only have the name in it. They don't say America. Don't say United States. Maybe when they wrote it, maybe it wasn't established as such. But I'm not a historian, so I'm.
So would you argue then that, because I know that people that have argued that that our national anthem should be either America or God Bless America, America the Beautiful or God Bless America.
I would
I,
go with America the Beautiful.
but
Why? Because I'm only thinking of Ray Charles singing.
yes, it has to be Ray Charles version.
Who said every national anthem is better than ours? I'm gonna just ride with him on that one because some of the other national anthems, I just don't understand what the heck they saying. So but Goose is hitting us up on our 24-hour text line. If you don't know that number is 484-606-6061. You can hit us up there. Of course, you can also call the show. You know what? I just realized I got the phone covered up. Sorry if you called and couldn't get through. My apologies.
Try to call again if you tried to call.
But thing right. Okay. I'm gonna just ride with them on that one because some of the national you don't understand what they're saying, but yeah, they're all better than ours probably.
When you sent
the national anthem column, I'm sorry.
When you sent that, the first thing I thought of, I thought of Nikolai Volkov always singing the Russian national anthem before his matches.
He wasn't really Russian, right?
He was Yugoslavian, I think, because he always said
it's hard.
Just like Iron Sheik wasn't from Iran.
Yeah, he was like Somali, not Somalian, Samoan, right?
No. He wasn't. He definitely wasn't Samoan. No. Because he was the bodyguard to the Sheik or I forget what they call him, but somebody in Egypt. He was their bodyguard after he won the Olympics in '72.
Okay,
but I forget. Yeah, but he's one. He might be Turkish. I want to say, but he's definitely not Iranian.
I think you might be right. I think you might.
I think. Yeah.
Hey, if y'all know, put it in the chat. Let us know. Hit us up.
Iron Sheik, the original inventor of the hot toy.
Hit us up with your thoughts. 727-731-8267. Back to the All-Star weekend. The highlight of the MLB All-Star weekend to me was the home run derby. I think them taking it away from that timed format, which I despised. I did not like it. I enjoyed last year's home run derby, but I didn't. But I just didn't like the format. When you're coming from the 10-out format to what they changed it to, I didn't like that at all. What they changed it to now, the 20 swings and then the 15 swings, I enjoyed it. I liked it. It was better for the watch. It was better watching it. You get to enjoy it because I hated how in the other home run derbies you hit and they're right back. You don't even get to see it for real. They had to do the split screen so you can see you hit and then you're right back watching. You don't even get to see it travel, and that's all. That's part of the home run enjoyment is seeing the ball travel like that. Especially in the home run derby because there's so many. And usually, if you're watching a baseball game, you see it off the bat, and the next thing you see is an outfielder running, and then it landing in the crowd. So you really never get to see it from the perspective you see it in the home run derby. And they brought that aspect of it back, and I really enjoyed it. What did you think about the new format?
I liked it. I thought it actually flowed a lot better because it forces a stop at a certain point. Because I think in the old format, you were also able to call like timeout,
Yes,
at a certain point.
they would call a timeout, yeah,
Um,
and it got ridiculous.
yeah, it did. But I was reminded of because again, it's the historian in me. Do you remember a show called the Home Run Derby?
Show.
So I started watching it. It used to air on ESPN, like
Okay.
right before dinner time, and it actually I think from 1959 to like 1963, one time a month, whoever was the leading home run hitter for that month, they would actually meet, I believe, in either Wrigley Field or some other field, and they actually had a 9 inning home run derby. So you had like,
I have seen that video.
and it's all black and white, and it's I think I think Henry Aaron made the most appearances on there, but you had like Hank Aaron versus Mickey Mantle, or
Yes,
Mickey Mantle versus Willie Mays. It was amazing, and I was like, I mean, of course you couldn't do that because you couldn't do 9 innings of it, but it was just interesting because that's where they got the idea for the home run derby in the first place. So.
This home run derby was special in Philadelphia because there were two Philadelphia Phillies, and that's probably the first time ever there's been two Phillies in the home run derby at the same time. I can't remember a time when there was more than one. Bryce Harper and Kyle Schwarber, and this was Bryce Harper's. Well, I think it was his third home run derby. Am I right?
Probably. I know he won the one in DC back in
I'm on the DC. I feel like
18.
I feel like he lost one, but anyway, he was in this one. Kyle Schwarber was in this one, and it was just like, I won't say poetic justice, but how crazy is it that it came down to Bryce and Kyle in that first round, and Kyle Schwarber ends up eliminating Bryce because Bryce just didn't hit enough home runs, just didn't put enough out, and it happens that way. Um, but after that first round for Kyle Schwarber, what I didn't expect was for him to get all the way to the final after the first round. But when I saw him swinging the bat in that second round, I said, yeah, he might get to that final. And then on the other side, you had St. Louis Cardinals Jordan Walker, young guy, young brother, was over there, and his swing was very smooth and
I loved it. Oh my god, that effortless.
effortless swing, and he just got in that groove. Um, and I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. I wanted to see a Philly win, but I got to be honest with you. You know how I am on this show, Miguel. I
Mhm.
can't say I was rooting against Jordan Walker.
Can't say I was either.
Can't say I was rooting against him. I cannot say that if I was there, I'd have been booing too. Right? I can't say that. But Jordan Walker won the home run derby, and did an amazing job, beating Kyle Schwarber by one home run. And he had to do it in a way that he had to hit like 5 straight to actually win it. So I mean, even with that format, the way they made that format, that part of it was exciting because of the format. Now Jordan Walker made more money winning the home run derby with the $1 million cash prize than he's going to make in this season as an MLB baseball player. Ain't that something? So he's going to get his check, his $800,000 check. Well, not his $800,000 check, but he's going to get paid. He's going to get his $800,000 for the season, and then he's going to get $1 million on top of that he wasn't even counting on at the beginning of the season. Think about that. Wouldn't that be amazing? That would be amazing, man. Shout out to him, man. Congratulations to him. He really did his thing. His father graduated from MIT, and his mother graduated from Harvard. Damn. You talk about a smart household right there, boy.
Mhm.
MIT and Harvard.
And kudos to him for actually shouting his parents out and thanking his parents for like helping with his development and helping with getting him opportunities to develop as a baseball player. Um, he didn't try to throw shade to Philly, but I like the way that he handled the question about Philly fans booing him, and he's like, yeah, that's rough, but he's like on the flip side, he's like, I've never heard a sound like that when Harper and Schwarber came up. He's like, this would be a great place to play. So I was like, him.
And there's been a lot of talk about that. There's been a lot of talk about the the crowd behavior during the home run derby, because basically everybody got booed that wasn't in the Phillies uniform. It just is what it is. Everybody got booed. Um, but here's what I have to say to people that really have a problem with that. I'm gonna start off by asking a question: how long have you been watching sports? The other question is, well, what did you expect? It's Philly. We boo our own people, so we're definitely not going to cheer your people on coming into our house. No, come on, man. Come on, man. Seriously, Miguel comes to a Phillies game with that in that Charm City jersey. Guess what's going to happen? Going to get booed. Hey, I went to a Baltimore Orioles game in Baltimore with a Phillies hat on. Guess what? I got booed. I got I I don't say I got accosted, but I got trash talked to me, and it didn't help that the Phillies sucked and they was getting their behinds kicked at the time. And I think one of the longest home runs I think I've ever seen in person. I mean, the Orioles really put one on the Phillies that day too. It was bad. It was bad. Baltimore gave me the business that day, Miguel.
Did they?
They gave me the business, man. But it was all good. I went over to I forgot what pickles. Went over to pickles.
Yes.
Had the Baltimore wings over there. Ooh,
Yeah, the only I love pickles too. Is
They're not paying us either, yo.
So pickles is about 2 blocks from my office, from my work office.
Oh, I wouldn't be
Um,
able to do that.
yeah, so I go there for the Obey wings, and they actually have a really good chicken quesadilla.
I'm gonna have to get back get back there. Um, Shout out to Jordan Walker, like I said. And like I stated earlier, the American League beat the National League 4-0 in a pitcher's duel. That Miguel, I turned the game off after the fourth inning. I was so bored with that game, Miguel. I'm not gonna lie. I was so bored with the game. And I was like, I'm going to miss something. It's an all-star game. I'm going to miss something. Then later on in the night, because it was already 3-0. Later on in the night, I looked to see if the game was still on or what the score was. It was over. And I saw that I only missed one run. I haven't even seen highlights of the game.
Did you see the junior Camarino hit by pitch?
I did. I did, man. Oh, wait. That's not something you want to see in an all-star game. You don't want to see one of your players and one of your star players get hit in the hand. But X-rays came back negative, so good for him. I'm glad that it wasn't something more serious or anything like that. And Goose said, "Road trip, hey, let's do it. Do it. We're gonna come. We're gonna go down to Baltimore and pick up Miguel and go to Camden Yards so he can boo kids."
Oh, that story. Yeah, it was an accident. It was a misplaced focus. But yo, you should have seen my niece. She was like, "It's a Make-A-Wish kid. He's blind in both eyes." I'm sorry. I was on my phone.
I wasn't even going to mention that part of it. I was just going to let it ride.
Yo, he was blind and he had one leg. That's how bad that thing was. Even Philly fans are looking at me like, bro. I'm like, I was on my phone. I wasn't paying attention. The sound system's bad.
Yeah, blind. He was blind at one leg, and I was going. God, dog,
It,
you are brutal. Goodness gracious.
it was an accident.
Let's switch gears. Let's switch gears real quick. While we do, I'm going to shout out to you if you're checking us out. Anywhere you might be checking us out: YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, Instagram, wherever you may be checking us out from. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and you hit the like button and all that good stuff. Let's talk a little NFL. Talk a little NFL. I put this. I got this list and I forgot to even open it. Here we go. So they're doing the top 100 players in the NFL, right? And I'm really not understanding the list. I mean, some of the things in the list. Okay, I can't mute it. There we go. I didn't know. Well, I don't know how to. Okay, let me just go through the 10. All right, can I do that? Let's
Sure.
go through the 10. So at number 10, and this is ranked by I believe the players. Um, this is like voted on by the players. So at number 10, you have Patrick Surtain. Not mad at that. He's up. I think last year was like number 42 on the list or something. So you know. Then you got Justin Jefferson. Um,
Seems high.
at number 9, I think Justin Jefferson's high. I think he might be top 10. I think Justin Jefferson's top 10.
Hmm.
I mean, it sometimes it's hard to really want to rank the wide receivers as top because they're all so diva-ish. Not all, but they can be so diva-ish that it kind of bothers you. But Justin Jefferson at number 9. Now this one I would have had higher. Myles Garrett at number 8. I would have had him
Yeah.
higher.
Yeah.
I but he had him at number 8. This one I probably would have had lower. Definitely not higher than Myles Garrett, but Derrick Henry came in at number 7. Shout out to Baltimore. Derrick Henry doing it at like 31 years old. He's still doing his thing. Almost 2,000 rushing yards on 325 attempts. That's a lot of carries too. Joe Burrow. This is the one. This is the one. Joe Burrow at number 6. Let me go through it, and can I go back to Joe Burrow? Let me just go through the rest. Joe Burrow at number 6. All right. Patrick Mahomes at number 5. Jamar Chase at number 4. Josh Allen at number 3. Lamar Jackson number 2. And this one baffled me too. This one baffled me too. Saquon Barkley was ranked number 1. I just saw your message. I got the wrong one, huh? I got the wrong one up here. Oh man, I got the wrong. Wow, I wish you had told me that yesterday.
I
I got
meant
the wrong
to.
one. That's why I couldn't understand why he was number 1. I couldn't understand it. I couldn't understand it. But I do want to go back to Joe Burrow.
Was he on this year's list?
Yes.
Are you
Yes.
serious?
I believe he's top 10 on this year's list.
What?
Yes, top 10 on this year's list, I believe. But look, here's what I don't understand. How does Joe Burrow, why does he get ranked so high amongst, I don't understand it. Like, I understand that he went to a Super Bowl 4 years ago, something like that. 5, 6 years ago, something like that. I mean, there's been some seasons. And he hasn't been close since. I think they went to the playoffs one more time since then.
Mhm.
And people say, well, his defense is terrible and he's always hurt. Well, how can you be a top 10 player in the league if you're always hurt? He's always hurt because his offensive line it stinks and he gets battered. Well, then you can't be a top 10 to me, Miguel. You can't. I really don't understand that. Help me out. Am I crazy here?
No, it's the same argument about how the like what makes a player. What are the determinants of, or what are the qualifications that determine a player to be in a top 10, top 20 list, right? Do you count wins? Do you count their effect on wins and losses? Do you count, how they affect the market? You know what I mean? I it's I think that like a player like Josh Allen, for instance, as well as Joe Burrow, are probably two of the most overrated QBs today. You know what I mean? Other than Burrow surprises me though, because he's not even like a highlight film quarterback. He's literally like a. I mean, he's mobile, but not like to the length of Lamar Jackson or even a Josh Allen. But
He
um,
he gets credit for what he's capable of.
mhm,
Most people don't get credit for what they're capable of. No, I shouldn't say that. But a lot of times people don't get credit for what they're capable of, right?
mhm.
And I love to bring up this name because it just stirs up controversy betwixt the you and I. Joel Embiid is never available. And there's that but. But when he is available and healthy, he's the most dominant player in the NBA.
Right.
But you don't see Joel Embiid ranked in the top 10 of anybody's list right now. Why is Joe Burrow? And y'all can put your thoughts in the chat. Y'all can call us. Y'all can hit us on the 24-hour text line. You can call me crazy if you want. Why does Joe Burrow always get the benefit of the doubt when he doesn't get the results? They're not counting his wins, right? They're not counting his result, like the team results. They're not counting that, obviously. They're basically talking about what he's capable of. I mean, he puts up some numbers, don't get me wrong, but the results aren't there. Somebody like Dak Prescott, and I hate makes me want to yak right now just even going there. Dak Prescott puts up numbers every year. Has he been out of like the first, second round of the playoffs? No, he has not. But he gets to the playoffs. He has gotten to the playoffs. But I don't understand how Burrow like doesn't even sniff the playoffs, but he gets that benefit of the doubt. Um, RPJ 18 RPJ 18 21 Penn, Coach Penn said, Joe gets a pass because of the obvious and because they keep saying he doesn't have the protection. Well, if he doesn't have the protection, I mean, I agree with that. That's true. He doesn't have the protection. But that kind of goes right into the results you're getting from him. And how does he get the rank so high? Evolution with Brian says, stop hating, bro. He's a Cowboys fan. Homie of mine, he's a Cowboys fan. Told me stop hating. And him and I actually never talk trash to each other about Cowboys and Eagles. Like never, like almost never. We might say a slick comment here and there. We almost never talk trash to each other about the Eagles. It's kind of funny. Um, I don't understand. Like
Yeah.
here's the category I'm putting Joe Burrow in as far as football is concerned. As far as I'm putting him in the same category as Justin Herbert. They're on that same level to me. Now, do I think Joe Burrow is a better quarterback because of what he's capable of? Yes. I haven't seen Justin Herbert be capable. I haven't seen anything that made me think he's capable of what Joe Burrow is capable of. But capability, you get drafted on capability.
Mhm.
You don't win Super Bowls on capability.
Right, right. Results, baby.
You just don't. I done covered up the phones again. My bad, y'all. My bad. Did you have any thoughts on that before we move on to the new stadium?
Well, I just wanted to just to clarify because the top 10 it's an ongoing list that starts in June, the top 100 for each year.
And they're not
So
even there yet, right?
right now right now they're up to they have the top 100. They go from 100 and then they work their way down. So right now they're down to like 70 or 61st. So the 61st through the 100, and then the top 10 will come out the week of I think it's the week before the
Joe
season
Burrow will
starts.
be in the top 10 again.
You think so?
He'll be in the top 10. Hell, he was in the
So
top 10 last year for what?
so here's a big drop, right? Lamar Jackson was number 2 on that list last year.
Mm,
This year he's 69th.
wow.
So he dropped 67 spots.
Remind me, Miguel, because I don't remember. Was he hurt for a portion of the season last year?
I believe so. I think he missed like 2 or 3 weeks. Um,
2 or 3 weeks. Okay. And when your best ability is availability,
mhm.
he was he didn't have a bad season last year. He just wasn't available for some games.
Right.
And he gets dropped down tremendously.
You know who else got dropped down tremendously?
Ooh.
At number 80, AJ Brown dropped 51 spots.
Oh, that's because they wouldn't throw him the ball.
Right.
And then he dropped a couple in the playoff game. He wasn't getting the ball thrown his way.
Dropped.
So,
Drop.
wasn't getting well hell yeah, he dropped them. Whether it was purposely or not, I don't know. But he damn sure dropped them. He damn sure dropped those balls. He didn't miss them. He dropped them.
Do you think? Because now looking back on everything, do you think he dropped those balls on purpose? Do you
No,
think he's? Do you think that that level of pettiness and vindictiveness resides in him?
I don't think he did it on purpose because he's still a competitor, right? He still wants, for lack of a better term, sorry kids, cover your ears. For lack of a better term, he still wants to bust your ass. That was his gripe about the Super Bowl. That this feels good, but not as good. I want to dominate. He still wants. He wants to cook you. He's gonna go to New England. He's gonna cook some people. He's gonna cook some folk. So if you want to, you're not gonna drop passes on purpose if you want to cook somebody. I'm just that's just my thought process on it.
But you're also not gonna create, which he publicly said, rumors because your one bro didn't tell you that your other bro was sleeping with your side piece.
Wait, who created the rumor?
Well, not the rumor, but AJ Brown, publicly saying that he spreaded some news about the team in hopes of you know getting them going and stuff like that.
But see, in my thought, and I could be wrong, but in my thought process as an athlete, right? I'm not doing anything to lose. I'm just not. Like he knows he catches that ball, he's going to get love. They're going to talk about him. He knows this. They're going to talk about him positively. They're going to love on him. They're going to de him. He knows this. That's what he wants. And that to me, don't drop those balls on purpose if that's what you want. To me, hey, I could be wrong, but to me, no. Let's check out this reimagined. Reimagined. Citizens Bank Park. No, this reimagined Lincoln Financial Field, Philadelphia Stadium for those that are football fans, not football fans, football fans. Let's see what we got. That it? I digs. I digs.
You dig it?
I dig. It kind of gave me that feeling of that one in LA where the Rams play. Kind of gave me that kind of feel, but it's definitely different. Don't get me wrong. Um, I wouldn't mind it, right? What I don't want. Please don't build a dome, y'all. Please don't build a dome. Northeast football, there should not be any domes in the Northeast. It just really should. Like Chicago didn't put a dome on their field.
Mhm.
New England don't have a dome on their field. Giants, Jets, play the same place. I feel like I'm forgetting somebody up north. The Bills, they didn't put a dome on their field. Let Northeast football be and see that they're thinking business. I'm thinking football, right? And that's probably why I don't make their kind of money. They're thinking business. They do a dome. They can have a Super Bowl. They can have a Final Four. You know, they can do those things with a dome here in Philly. They can make money hand over Philly. But don't do it, y'all. Please respect the fan base. The fans don't want a dome. We don't. We don't want a dome. We just want championships. We want Northeast football. But I did dig that stadium. It looked like that stadium covers the fans to a point and still has the elements in the field.
Yeah, I like the fact of covering because the way the sound would bounce off and actually make that place even louder
Yeah.
would be amazing. I would say if they're gonna do a dome, do what they've done in like the other stadiums and make the light come through it or whatever. But yeah, I agree though. Like
Snow to come through it.
you want snow to come through. Yeah, then we wouldn't have the snow game, right?
Yeah, the rain, if it rains, y'all can cover it up. But the snow, I need the snow to be there. And y'all know I don't like snow. I need the snow to be there. Every kid's dream was to play football in the snow. Tell me you didn't. Tell me you never put the game. You put the weather on Madden, and I can say this. Tell me you never put the weather on snow in Madden. Tell me you never did.
I made that mistake with one of my players. I put it on heavy snow, and when the game started, all I saw was goalposts.
Bro, when you and I played one time,
Yes, yes.
we couldn't see anything. It was like
Uh,
the fog bowl.
right, right.
Couldn't see anything. That was actually kind of cool. I want to do that again. Um, let's move on. We got a couple of things to talk about here. Real quick. I want to. So last week we spoke about the new college sports bill. Okay. and there was some discussion or some speak or whatever the case may be about how this bill is going to affect. Miguel, should I just excuse me? Should I just like go for the video, or should I re-explain? Just
I
let the
mean,
video.
the video will kind of explain in depth what it really does. And shout out to one of our watchers. Unfortunately, he's a Cowboys fan, but he's also a father. Just misguided. But this particular person explains the real nuts and bolts of what this bill will truly do to different segments of the collegiate population.
Check it out.
There's a new college sports bill moving through the Senate right now, and I want to tell you what it does. It basically sets up two different systems, two different sets of rules, one for the adults that run and profit from the billion-dollar college sports industry, and a different system, a different set of rules for the student athletes. It restricts the compensation for the athletes, who, by the way, in basketball and football are primarily black athletes, and does nothing to restrict the compensation for the adults who run the industry. Those are the coaches, the athletic directors, the sports industry CEOs, who are, by the way, mostly white. One example of how there are two different systems is in how endorsement deals are handled. If you're a college athlete under this bill, you are going to have to get, for the first time in recent memory, the NCAA to approve your endorsement deal. That's not how things work today, but under this bill, the NCAA will be able to deny an athlete an endorsement deal, but not for coaches. Coaches get to do whatever endorsement deals they want. The NCAA has no say in that. If a booster wants to send money to a player, that's regulated, but if a booster wants to supplement the salary of a coach, that's unregulated. Once again, establishing two different systems, one that applies to the kids, to the student athletes, one that applies to the adults. The biggest injustice in college sports today is that it's a billion-dollar industry, but the adults have rigged the system so that they get almost all of that money, and these athletes, putting their health and life on the line, especially in college football, get the scraps. I think the current system is out of control, but this isn't the way to fix it. Any bill whose chief impact is to limit the share of the pie that goes to student athletes, to put more bureaucratic hurdles in the way of endorsement deals, is a bill that should not see the light of day on the Senate floor.
That was interesting the way he broke it down. That's something for a lot of our we have younger athletes and some college athletes that check out the show, and that's just some things for you to think about. One thing I will say, Miguel, I learned recently that I didn't know. So I know about the NIL deals, right? What I didn't know was some of that NIL money. I didn't know how schools were involved with the NIL situation. And somebody actually broke that down for me. And basically, NIL money from a school, because I think it was Diego Pavia, I believe, was it him that was suing Vanderbilt University, or I believe it was him. Or, no, it's Diego Pavia. Is Diego Pavia the one that was at Indiana, or is he the one that was at Vanderbilt?
There's a couple. There was one guy from Duke.
Well, nobody worried about that guy from Duke. Anybody worried about that? But let's put it this way: there's a guy, quarterback at Vanderbilt, that was promised or agreed to a specific number of compensation. I want to say it was like $1 million or something like that, to play football at the school. And he had basically held out because he had not received the money that that it was agreed upon that he should receive. What I didn't realize at the time, because it was from the school, I didn't realize that the schools can actually give these kids money, but it's not necessarily from the school. I think the school is making the promise or whatever, but it's from boosters, what we would call boosters,
Mhm.
that are putting their money together and giving these kids money. I didn't realize that. I didn't know that's how. I thought maybe the school was connected to a business and they were, had a certain amount of NIL deals that they could. I didn't know I hadn't studied it or anything like that. But yeah, this thing is, it's messy. It's messy.
What's happening is that the NCAA now is coming back and like, all right, let's simmer down. Let's get the money back in control and let's make sure that it's top heavy to us and bottom heavy for everybody else.
What I would like them to do, and it goes against what I'm about to say, goes against some of the things that I am I'm very anti-establishment sometimes. What they kind of need to do is figure out how to keep the kids at the school that they go to.
Right.
And I
That
don't
too.
mean leaving and going pro. I'm talking about the transfer portal. And transfer portal, I think, was created during COVID because of COVID, because people were losing eligibility years or whatever the case may be. But I think the transfer portal, like I always thought it was kind of unfair that you had to sit out a year or a semester or something like that if you transfer. I always thought that was kind of unfair.
Mhm.
But to go to a school and then you're in the transfer portal immediately for whatever the reason may be, I kind of feel like that's messed up too. And it's really, to me, for me, it has messed up a lot of college sports. Like in college sports now, you have to root for the name on the front of the jersey and not the name on the back. In the college sports, it used to be the other way around, where of course, yeah, you had your team, but you could always depend on that person being there unless they were a superstar going to leave early. Can't depend on that anymore. People will leave. Coaches can't depend on you for 2 years to let you develop, which is really why with that and the 4 for 5 or 5 for 5, whatever that rule is,
Mm-hmm.
you're going to get a lot of, if athletes are smart, you're going to get, unless you know you're going to play when you go to school, as you know you're going to play, it would be a smart move for a lot of these athletes to go JUCO, get the college experience, and then transfer out of a JUCO. Because now these coaches are going to be looking for people with college experience. We've talked about this on the show. We've said it. It's no secret. They want people with college experience, and that's going to play right away. If you're coming in from high school, you playing right away. It's hit or miss. Are you a superstar? You might play right away. Are you Arch Manning? Arch Manning didn't even play right away. Now think about it. Am I right? Am I wrong with that?
I believe so.
Um, you know, it is what it is.
And it was it was Vanderbilt, and he actually signed with the Ravens.
Oh, did he sign with the Ravens? Okay,
Mhm.
so yeah, he had a deal with Vanderbilt. He's supposed to be getting like $1 million. He didn't get the money. He was gonna hold out and all like that. So it's crazy. Um, another quick note: rule changes, high school rules. We talked about the bat thing. That bat thing. That's just bad. The bat thing where you got for those that may not know, in high school baseball, if you have a 33-inch bat, it will weigh 30 ounces. They call that a drop three. So you have a 33-30, a 34-31, a 32-29. I swung a 32-29 in college. Okay, that's what I swung in college. Um,
I swung a 34-31 in high
because you're
school.
strong. You're the brains and brawn of the situation. You're
Oh,
strong.
stop it.
I say it every show, twice a show. At least this time it'll be 3 times a show. I guess there's going to be some like amendments or some type of explanation. You can't have your strongest player, right, swinging a drop six. right? And that's having I'm just for example explanation. That's having a 36-inch bat that only weighs 30 ounces. Mind you, I just told you about a 33-ounce bat. I'm sure a 33-inch bat that weighs 30 ounces. I swung a 32-inch bat that weighed 29 ounces. You're going to have somebody out there swinging let's just say a 34-inch bat that weighs 28 ounces. That can be dangerous in high school. Miguel, let's talk about it.
I I,
What's up
I,
with changes?
I posted the other rule changes in the thing. That screen is up. So yeah, someone's gonna die. To put it mildly, but I mean, it could activate a couple of things. I know that there was talk of possibly moving the pitcher's mound back, which hasn't been done in almost 100 and some odd years. There's also talk about. I think there was. They were trying to come up with ideas to have a play like a mask, similar to what they do in softball for pitchers, or some type of protective covering. Because you're seeing more line drives up the middle. Um, I think there was one play I saw last year where a player hit a ball so hard to the first baseman it took his hand off. Took his glove off, and damn near his hand. So it's I don't know. It's just insane. But I think one of the other arguments was that it would allow players who maybe weren't big enough or strong enough to be able to wield a lighter bat to play high school, because I can't remember the exact number, but it was something astronomical, like 250,000 fewer players are playing high school in the last like 2 years. Now, the first thing I hear is dollar signs, because that's fewer bats, that's fewer tournaments. It's you know they're trying to cut it off at the pass, but it's like now you're kind of diminishing the talent pool. Because I think also too, this was probably the most high school players drafted in a Major League Baseball draft.
Yeah, there was a lot. Real quick, Coach Penn said, "Bring back the juiced bats.
Bam.
Bring them back." And like it was said last week, if you're not strong enough, don't play.
Right, but what do you? I guess the counter to that is, okay. Well, if there's too many kids that are not strong enough or don't like the game of baseball, how do we get interest back into the game?
You have you if you want to have the lighter bats, do it in middle school and younger. High school, once you get to high school, I tell people this all the time, man. In certain situations, high school sports is business. It's a business. I tell the kid and Coach Sander, you've been there with me when I've said it. Coach Penn has been there with me when I've said it. I've said it to him as a player. I've said it to him as a coach. You as a high school athlete, you are a business. You are a business. This is a business. And you you have to make yourself attractive as a business for people to invest in you. You just do. I'm not going to lie. Halfway through there, I lost my train of thought, and I just tried to keep it going. So I don't even know if what I said made in complete sense. I'm gonna just be honest. Lost my train of thought. I saw something. Tried to keep it going. Tried to keep it. So I hope what I said made sense. I'm not sure.
So so we'll go over some of the other. So the NFHS, which is the National Federation of High Schools, which is the governing body of all these rules for high school. They're also adding first base options where schools can now use the 18-inch first base or the double first base to help reduce collisions. Don't have a problem with that. It's been done
So
with
I
the collision.
know I know here in this state, I think they're going to the
The
double.
double bass. Okay.
Yeah, and that for I think this coming or the next baseball season, I think we'll have double first base.
Gotcha. Also, now electronics on the field, so players may not use headphones or wireless devices or other electric devices during play, except as allowed for coaching communication or medical devices. So that I've actually had quite a few athletes that had uh, the ones that like have issues with their blood sugar. They have those monitors that are like kind of embedded on their skin.
Oh yeah.
So quite a few of them, which is disturbing in itself. But yeah, they're allowed to use those. But they are allowing the electronic communication devices. One of the coaches at Visions, I believe, uses it for his high school team. They're instituting. They're allowing states to be able to choose the extra inning tiebreaker option, which is the runner at second after the 9 innings have been played. The pitch calling, which you just talked about, the two-way pitch calling, electronic devices will be between pitcher and or catcher from the dugout. That will be allowed. This was a bit interesting. I didn't realize there was a big deal about this, but I guess it kind of is. The eye black rule.
I really don't understand why this is.
Well, it's because they don't want anybody posting any type of messages that are political or religious. So they want it to just be a solid stripe only, no words, no numbers, no logos or other designs at all. So
Let the kids have some fun. Let them have some fun. I will say that we had a kid on our team this year that I'm at first base. I think I may have said something before. I'm at first base, and he had sunglasses on, and he walked. I don't know if he got a hit or if I think he walked. I don't remember. But he gets to first base, not that much. Good job, good at bat. I'm looking at him, and his doggone glasses are blinking.
mm.
Like, you got on meta glasses? Yeah, coach. You recording right now? Yeah, I'm recording my at bat. Okay, that's pretty cool though. I like that.
He's like, that's pretty cool, but don't do that.
Like, okay, that's pretty cool. Like I wish I
Right.
did. That's pretty cool. Okay. But at the time, I didn't know that that's actually not allowed. Didn't know that.
Mm.
So, I mean, if umpire ain't say nothing, then I'm not gonna say nothing because you're not kick my guy out for having illegal stuff on.
Right.
But we need to use that video if you're watching. We need to use that video to scouting purposes. We might see that picture again, and that's why they don't want you having it because of that reason. They don't want you
Dun dun dun.
scouting people, showing people, and stuff like that. But we do it. Real quick note, of course, the World Cup is still going on. The finals I think are Sunday at New Jersey Stadium. Spain beat France yesterday 2-0. You gotta say nil when you talk about football. Soccer, football.
Football.
And Argentina beat England today in comeback fashion. They were down 1-0, came back and scored 2 goals there at the end. Did that 2 games in a row. So Argentina, they could be a team of destiny. I don't know. We'll see. Could be a team of destiny. We'll have to see what happens there. Will you be tuned into the Stanley Cup?
Stanley
Will you
Cup.
be tuned into the World Cup final, Miguel?
When is it again?
I think it's Sunday. I could be wrong, but I think it's Sunday. If it's not Sunday, it might be Tuesday, but I think it's Sunday.
If it's Sunday, I may, because I need a day off from doing anything. I've been up and
Put
at
your
it
feet
for
up
this.
and watch some soccer,
So football.
some European football. You are stumping me today, but before you stump, am I playing this video as a closeout or am I playing it now?
You can play it as a closeout to the side. So this video is as we enter the finals of the World Cup, we would like to present a not so World Cup from around the world.
Let's see what we got as we just closed out our World Cup conversation because we really ain't got much to say about it. We're Americans here. We don't really, I enjoy a game of soccer, but I'm not into it like other people are. But here we go. Not quite World Cup.
Oh,
What?
wrong. So, so shout out to this is who the Phillies drafted in the 11th.
That one was up there the whole time. Yeah. I could have sworn I saw something completely different before I hit the button. Did you change it?
It was the next slide because I was gonna announce congratulations to Drew Titsworth, who was drafted by the Philadelphia Phillies in the 11th round. He's from Clemson.
All right, let's go to the next slide.
No, video.
Oh, sorry. Okay, there you go. Drew Titsworth is back. Here we go.
Hoje eu vou cair pra pista, avisa minha amiga que eu vou chegar mais tarde. E se correr tudo bem, áudio Citroën ou uma Kawasaki, sabe pra quê? Vai dar rolê no morro, de presente pra ela cordão de ouro, disposição na beira-linha, dinheiro no bolso. Deixa o 2P passar, ele tá com cabelo em belão, é nós que tá. Da fazenda é mídia, o meu mano de rua, esse moleque é mídia. Deixa o dia ia passar, ele tá com o turista, o mano é nós que tá. O DG é mídia, do Antário Marolete, esse moleque é mídia. Deixa, vem pro bonde da beira-linha pra tu ser feliz. E quando você de um alemão senta, mas se tenta vir deixar.
Music. Oh, that's it. That was good. That's the best soccer video I've ever seen in my life.
Okay.
Best soccer video I've ever seen in my life. So we have come to this portion of the show. We come to the end of the show, right? And for those of you that might be checking us out for the first time, this is the portion of the show where Miguel tries to stump me. He has randomly selected an athlete that has some type of Philadelphia ties, and by ties I mean he's played in the city for one of our professional sports organizations. He gives me the jerseys and a little bit of accolades and tells me figure it out. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't, but all the time it takes me about 20 minutes to figure it out. Not 20 minutes. Y'all stick around with us. We won't be around much long. Here we go. So this dude has a lot of jerseys. He's worn 11 different jerseys. He's really, you want to give me somebody with 11 different jerseys, couldn't hold on to a number, and has only been an all-star twice, and it's baseball.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So he actually played for 7 teams. If that helps.
Jeremy Giambi.
No.
Oh, okay. All right, tell me the teams. Because I can't figure all that out. 2 of them are the A's. 2 of them are
the Minnesota.
Colorado. What?
You want me to tell you the teams?
Can I try to guess the teams?
Yeah.
I always try to guess the teams.
Okay. So the first 2, yes, the first 2 are the same team. Yes, Minnesota.
I only knew that because I heard you say it. So, Minnesota, Houston,
Yes.
Oakland, or the A's,
Mhm.
Nationals,
No,
or Cleveland.
neither.
Who was that?
St. Louis.
They need to do some of these colors. Who is that? Is that the Padres?
One of them is the Padres. The 34 is the Padres, and the 37 is Houston.
Oh, okay. Oh, Padres did have that uniform for like 5 years. Okay.
Mhm.
Phillies, Colorado, and Phillies again. Well, you're gonna have to give me a position because this dude wore number 93. Wait a minute,
Mhm.
hold on. What? Give me the time frame of the career.
2006 to like 2019.
It's not definitely not what I was thinking. Um, 2006 to 2019.
Mhm.
What position did he play?
He was a pitcher.
It had to be a pitcher. I have no clue what this is. Played for the Phillies twice. When did he play for the Phillies?
He played for the Phillies in 2017, was their only All Star, and then came back and finished his career in Philadelphia in 18 and 19.
Finished his career in Philadelphia. What'd you say after that?
In 18 and 19.
Finished his career pitching in Philadelphia in 2018.
No, I take that back. He was traded to Philadelphia in 2017, and then he finished his career in Philadelphia. The
Traded
last 2
to Philadelphia in 2017
Rockies.
from the Rockies. I don't have the chat up, but I still have my Instagram up. Somebody said, "Is it Roy Oswald?" No,
No.
definitely not Roy Oswald. But thanks for the guess on that one. Man, let me think. Let me think. I'm blanking on a lot of people right now, but this is going to be somebody that I probably never knew even played for the Phillies. You watch. Um, hmm. What's the nationality?
Let's see. He's a Wisconsinian.
He's a what?
He's from Wisconsin. He's white.
Oh, I never heard of that.
It's like, what country is?
He's okay. So white pitcher, 2-time All Star. Was the Phillies' only All Star in 2017, which doesn't mean he was good. It just means he was selected. 2017. Who was pitching? Was he a starter or a reliever?
He was a reliever.
Oh my god. Oh my gracious day in the morning. He was
And if it helps any, his only other time as an All-Star was with the St. Louis Cardinals, who he only played with for only 1 year.
nah, it don't help.
Okay.
He was a reliever, not a closer. A reliever.
Would it help to give his middle name?
Probably not, because can you use his name in a sentence? Go ahead, give me his middle name. Let's see. Give me his middle name.
John.
Yeah, that don't help. Don't help at all. You know how many Johns I know in my life? Does he go by his middle name?
No.
Oh yeah, that don't help at
Just throw it in there.
all. Let me think. And the Philly stunk at that time, man. We
Yeah.
went to a game together around that time, and they
Dude,
stunk.
listen. I still remember going to a Phillies game in 2001. Phillies suck. And sitting in the upper deck watching somebody by the name of Domingo Cedeno hitting a game-winning home run. And I think he lasted like what, half a year in the bigs. I remember going to a Phillies game in 1992, and the starting center fielder was somebody by the name of Braulio Castillo. So if you're a real fan,
Remember all that?
you remember the flea Ricky Otero?
remember Ricky Otero, yeah.
You remember Steve Jerry Curl Jeltz?
Remember the name Steve Jeltz. Yes,
Remember Ricky Jordan?
absolutely. John Clutch.
Randy Reddy?
Remember Randy
Tom,
Red?
Tom Nieto?
First of all, yes, I remember all those guys because I was young enough in that time to be enamored with baseball. You're talking about 2017 when
The players.
we have won a World Series that I actually saw, and I got to care about this team that's winning like 23 games a year. I I have no idea who this is. I mean, J.C. Romero, no. J.C. Romero's not white from Wisconsin either. Uh, I have no idea. I mean, you got me. I have no clue. No idea who this is.
All right,
Oh wait
get
a minute, hold on,
ready.
hold on. Oh, no, no, no.
Do it. Say it. Say it with your chest.
No, it's not. It's because I'm thinking of somebody that was a rookie with the Phillies.
Just say it.
It's wrong. I know
Just
it's
say
wrong.
it.
The Phillies. He was a rookie with the Phillies, so there's no
Okay.
there's no chance.
Okay. Are you ready?
And I think we already had this person that I'm thinking of too.
Okay. Are you ready?
Yeah. Don't say nothing. Don't say nothing. Who the hell is that?
Pat Neshek.
There's no way I don't even know who that is. I've never heard of him.
So here's the funny thing, right? He was the only All-Star in 20 for the Phillies in 2017. His ERA was 1.59 in 71 appearances. And
When
then
he
the
took care
follow
of things, would he pitch?
70 games was 62 innings.
62 innings in 70 games.
Mhm.
Wait a minute.
So he had a 2.59 ERA, and he came to us when he was 36, so he retired by the time he was 38.
How you pitching 70 games but not have 70 innings? Okay, he came in maybe halfway through an inning.
Right,
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, baseball's funny like that. Forgot about that.
right. So if he came in for like one out, that counts as a game.
It does. So
'Cause
that counts as a game.
that counts as a game.
He appeared and didn't record an out.
No. If you didn't record an out, then technically you didn't. They won't count as a game. But if you record one out, then then it's a game.
But that's what I'm saying because 70 games, but 70 games but only 62 innings.
Mm-hmm.
So he must have made some appearances where he didn't record an out.
Or not a full out, because remember, it's like, so he pitched exactly what? Two
Not a
teams.
full out.
He pitched 62 and 1/3 innings. So if he pitched like a third or 2/3 of an inning,
That's what I'm saying. He came in like halfway through an inning.
right?
But you're saying if he recorded an out, then that
That's
counts game.
so. Like, put it this way: if you have full plate appearances, right, and you walk all 4 times, they count as walks, they count as plate appearances, but I'm not sure that it counts as a game played.
It's not
Unless it's not in that bad. They're not at bats, right? They're plate appearances, but not at bats.
no, I get that, but what I'm saying is for a pitcher, how do you have less innings than you have games?
Because he could have came in one game, but only pitched 1/3 of an inning.
And that's what I was saying earlier. So he comes in and but then you said if you record an out, it counts as a game.
Right. If he came in with 2 outs and threw 1 pitch.
What you're saying is he records an out. That's an appearance, is what you're saying.
No, that's a game. That counts as him pitching in a game.
Okay, I got you. That's
why the number. That's the way the number can be skewed.
You can have a game but not have a full inning. Right. I got you.
Right.
All right, cool. Well, look, you got me on that. Don't ever pull nobody like I don't even know that person existed. I feel like a couple weeks ago you did the same thing where I didn't know they. I'm gonna do one for you one day.
Oh, it was Ty Wigington.
Oh yeah, Ty Wig. I remember that. I remember the name, but there was no way I was gonna guess it.
Right.
There was no way I was gonna guess it. You give me some more basketball players so I can feel good about myself. Oh.
I got you. Football's coming up in a month, so we're going to be on hiatus for a little bit.
Oh yes. Let me go ahead and mention that now. We will be on a hiatus for about a month or so. We're taking our check swing break. Probably play a few games of our check swing World Series that will be coming. So definitely, we're not going to leave you completely stranded. We're going to have some things that we're going to do on social media and stuff like that while we get geared up for the end of the baseball season, the beginning of the football season. And of course, for me as a Sixers fan, the beginning of the basketball season come October. Jaylen Brown now being a Sixer. Very exciting time. Miguel, you got any last words before we get out of here?
Yes. Sports are the only place where adults cry over a leather ball and call it a deeply spiritual experience. So,
That's deep.
Keep it simple.
That's deep. Okay. I don't have nothing to follow that up with. Let's turn the music. I'll just start the music. Look, we're going to get up out of here. We appreciate y'all hanging with us here on the Check Swing Podcast. Wherever you was checking this out from, I'm going to definitely want to thank you for doing so. Let me turn this down a little bit. Well,
because it's kind of going over your voice.
All right, how's that? Is that a little bit better?
Yeah.
Turn myself up a little bit. I'm going to thank y'all for watching the Check Swing Podcast once again. From wherever you was watching, make sure you share us. Make sure you hit the like button, whatever the case may be. We'll be going from the Check Swing Podcast, from the show as you see it right now, for a few weeks. We're going to come back. We're going to be ready. I would say the baseball season won't really down. Hard to pay attention until August. It's about to be August in a couple of weeks. We've got to start paying attention. So look, we're going to get up out of here. We appreciate y'all hanging with us here on the Check Swing Podcast. We won't see you next week, but we will be seeing you. So for Miguel and for myself, I'm going to thank y'all for checking us out. We're going to get up out of here. Appreciate y'all. And we'll talk to y'all next time here on the Check Swing Podcast.
Until we meet again.